Amerindian Act 2006 provides for, among other things, grants to communal land. Unlike the old Act, the new Act includes a process for the granting of land. However, there are still aspects of this specific legislation that require strengthening. This has been the call from Indigenous communities throughout the country, and this call has been answered by the government. This is InfoHub Extended.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
The government of Guyana, your government, is very serious when it comes to Indigenous rights.
Member of Parliament Mervyn Williams. MP Williams was at the time addressing residents of Indigenous communities in Region 2, Pomeroon-Supinam, following 2 days of consultations on the 2006 Amerindian Act No. 6 at Lake Mainstay. This was the second round of consultation with the Indigenous communities in Region 2.
Consultations on the Amerindian Act of 2006 began in early 2018 with a team of Martin Chung and David James from the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs and independent legal counsel Stephen Lewis traveling to various parts of the country to ensure that every voice on the matter is heard. We now take a look at consultations held in Region 2.
On day one, the communities met with the independent attorney contracted by the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, who acted on their behalf, answering any questions or queries they may have with regards to the 2006 Amerindian Act.
I'm happy to be at this forum today.
Among the issues raised were the lessening of control and final say on matters by the subject minister, a change in the term and meaning of resident as it pertains to benefits in the Act, an Indigenous health institution, and the name Amerindian in the Act to be replaced with the name Indigenous. As day one wrapped up, the communities were told by Martin Chung, Special Advisor to the Minister, that this was not the final stop, as when they returned to their villages, if they had further concerns, they could write to the Ministry's Secretariat.
And I'm delighted to see the kind of support we're getting from the communities. As you would have noticed, for the past 2 days we had 100% participation from the communities.
The communities participating include Bethany, Kapoi, Mashabo, Mainstay, Wayaka, Tapakuma, Akwini, Wakapau, St. Monica, and Kabakaburi. There are 5 representatives from each community. Thus far, the ministry has held consultations with communities in the Maruka Sub-District, Region 1, Santa Artak in Region 3, St. Cuthbert Mission Region 4, Maraikabai Region 5, and Oriala Siparuta.
Consultations were also held with the Indigenous NGOs, the Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association and the Guyana Women Miners Association. Government agencies such as the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, Guyana Forestry Commission, Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, and the Environmental Protection Agency.
Communities in the South and South Central Rupununi also had their say, as well as those in the Deep South Rupununi and South Central Rupununi. For 2019, consultations have been held in communities in the Karasabai District and North Rupununi. We spoke to the participants of the consultation, and this is what they had to say.
For me, it was open, and we had a couple of minutes and hours to get the recommendation up that we have presented. But I think it's still open that we could submit our recommendation in later date in writing to the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs.
It was a very worthwhile and fruitful effort. We need to have some changes in the Act. There are some things we as Tushos would like to see included.
For me, the consultation, it was very fruitful. We got over some things that we had really want to get over to the lawyer and for they to put it together for us. And I think it's been well.
The consultation was very informative. It was really one of the best consultations in terms of interaction and involvement, where we had an opportunity to express what should really be in the Act, the concerns that we had. Yes, I know that some of our concerns would not be in the Act, but yet we had an opportunity to air them, of which I feel much comfortable that in the future some issues can be addressed.
This consultation is a very good thing because the Amerindians could get to air their view on our problems that we have.
The ministry has also ensured that legal counsel is provided for the communities, that attorneys strictly assist communities by giving advice, assisting with proposals and offering general guidance in any way they might need with regards to the legislation.
My role really is to meet with them, ensure that they have an understanding of what the Act is about, and to hear their recommendations, to deliberate on it, to see whether it is catered for in the Act already, whether there is need for it in the Act if it's not catered for, whether briefly if it conflicts with any other law in Guyana. So that is essentially my role. It has been going good so far. I've gone to several villages across Guyana, and I think the sessions are very interactive. Some villages have demonstrated a more intimate knowledge of the Act than others, but essentially they're clear on what their issues are and what it is they want to see reviewed in the Act, what it is they want to see completely excised from the Act. And so all in all, I would say that it is a very productive exercise.
As the session at Mainstay Wayaka wrapped up, MP Mervyn Williams addressed the Indigenous communities, advising that they be very cautious about the messages that are brought to them. Williams advised communities against being influenced by those who seek to serve only themselves.
The villages will identify their representatives. Nobody from government or the ministry or any organization will come to the village and say, you will send this person and that person because they speak on issues that we concur. We do not harbor the expectation that somebody from some organization outside of your villages will come and tell you this is what you need to say. We believe that any organization that purports to represent the interests of indigenous peoples will recognize that they have an opportunity to speak in their own right, at their own consultation. And so they should not interfere with your consultation. They should not try to influence your thought processes. They should not try to influence what you have to say.
Following Mainstay Wayaka, the team heads to Moruca. During consultations, Tushals from the various villages within the Moruca sub-district took time to acknowledge and thank the government for work done thus far within their communities.
So far under the coalition government, for the short period of time, we have received a secondary department school which is housing approximately 180 students. We also received a doctor's quarter. 3 culverts was built on a 1,700 feet dam with 500 feet of revetment work being done. So far, 7 miles has been benefiting and satellite area where they're having a citrus farm, and just recently was able to receive their presidential grant in the sum of $800,000, whereby they requested for an outboard engine and a boat. We received the engine. Must say thanks to the government.
I'm happy to see that this current administration is making efforts to get agriculture back in this community. As a child, I know we exported a lot of things from Santa Rosa village. I grew up as a child seeing this village real productive. We never imported what we were importing from charity now. We had lots and lots of fruits, vegetables, and all sorts of things. However, as an adult, I can say I've seen under the last administration the decline of agriculture in this village.
This has been InfoHub Extended. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.